welcome to our next installment of Meet the Speaker, where we chat to the plenary speakers for the SCA 2024, which will take place in Sydney next February. If you haven't already registered, check out the program. It will be a great conference with a good variety of excellent, both international and national speakers. So today we are speaking to Professor Francisco. So thank you for joining us today. And I'm going to ask you a few questions. So to start with, could you provide us a brief introduction of yourself?
Thanks very much for the invitation to participate. My name is Francisco Doblas-Reyes. I'm an ICREA professor at the Barcelona Supercomputing Center, where I lead the Earth Sciences department, which is one of the largest departments doing computing for Earth systems in Europe.
Sounds good. So your abstract mentions that the development of a digital twin for climate adaptation. So how do you foresee this innovative approach benefiting decision makers in their efforts to adapt to climate change and implement multi-sectoral strategies?
Well, as we all know, climate is one of the, climate change in particular is one of the main problems that society at the large and at the global scale has to deal with. This is a very long-standing problem. It's going to be here with us for a very long time. And there are many decisions in terms of climate adaptation that require climate information of the highest quality. So far, this kind of information has been based on research experiments performed by many teams around the world that performed similar experiments and whose data was exchanged and provided freely to everyone so that they could prepare their own climate information. That information in those experiments were research experiments, and as such, they were provided with a substantial delay, while the decisions have to be taken almost on the spot, and that's very often in a very short time. The digital twin is a completely different concept to the way climate information has been produced by these climate models so far. What we try to do is to create a software environment that is able to provide the data that underpins this climate information on a timely basis with the best climate models that we can have our hands on, and also giving access to the data being produced almost as the model is running. And this is very innovative. This also allows us to capture the user requirements on a timely basis in a very often manner and with a high frequency, and provide the data, exactly the data that they are looking for, instead of them having to wait years for the next cycle of experiments for the requirements to be taken into account.
That's very inspiring. As we eagerly await your plenary talks, as a plenary speaker, what message or key takeaway do you hope the SCA 2024 audience will leave with after your talk?
One of the main messages that I would like to convey is that technology can really help for social problems, and therefore problems that also have a very important economic component, because climate change has very strong repercussions in the economies all around the world. But technology and supercomputing in particular can really make a difference if we take into account what are the different aspects that play a role in the provision of climate information.
So looking ahead, what potential breakthroughs do you foresee in supercomputing and AI?
Well, one of the main breakthroughs that I'm seeing here on one side for supercomputing is the use of climate models that so far have been unprecedented, in the sense that these climate models will be run at very high resolutions, resolutions that are of a scale of kilometers instead of hundreds or tens of kilometers, which has been the case so far in the production of the data for the generation of climate information. And this is a really massive challenge, not just because we'll have to use, and we are using, new architectures and new platforms available throughout Europe that use accelerators, and this is something that is quite new for climate modeling in Europe, but also because we are solving problems and challenges concerning data management that so far have been left aside because they were too demanding. But those data challenges, addressing those data challenges, the data management, data traffic, data dissemination are fundamental if we really want to reach those that are vulnerable to climate change and that require information for climate adaptation.
Yeah. So my last question for you today is just in one sentence, why do you think people should attend SCA 2024?
What I To me, the main goal of my talk is, on one side, to explain what we are trying to do in Europe with the Destination Earth initiative, and on the other side, to get as much feedback from other communities, in particular in Asia, in Australia and New Zealand, concerning their perspectives for a problem that is global and that affects everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at our conference. So to our audience, make sure you check out the conference website and register if you're interested in attending. Thank you for watching.